morning, grand rising, what the business is. I'm black, I understand what white privilege is. They say we ghetto cause we want more for our fellows. To not get scammed and lose all their crypto. I grab the cello, make the sound of falsetto. I'm a priest, I don't break what's confidential. Factual, only deal with what's essential. Higher standards, you thinking backwards. If this was back in the day, you could roll up into backwoods. Or get slumped, body found in the backwoods. I got excited, so my wife it gave her Blackwoods. Not abusive things, I mean it was that good. Test me, I wish a nigga really would. The news said he got left where he stood. Nah, open the scroll of papyrus. Knowledge deeper than Osiris. I throw the shells when I'm divining. Charity work, peace to all the Shriners. Mystical champions and esoteric writers. Allow misfortune to fall on whoever divides us.
Yes. Here we are. What's going on? Here we are again. Another day to be great. Another evening. Another morning. Another afternoon. Wherever you are. Everywhere you are. What's happening? What's happening, everybody? Hope you're doing well. You're now listening to the Light Wonder stream. Check this out. Before we start, take a moment. Just take a moment and reflect real quick on all the good things you have in your life. I know things can be real hard. I know things can be extremely difficult for many out here. But the old adage is true. Someone always has it worse off than you, and things can always be worse. Seriously. I tell you, man, I did a stream not too long ago about substance abuse and the problems that causes. And I know for the most part, many people unfortunately can relate. Many people unfortunately can relate. And when I get on the internet, I try to speak about things that I care about, things that I like, things that I enjoy, like really more than like, you know. But it's just something, I don't know if it's a seasonal thing right now, because it's just been a little bit more heightened than other times during this year. This year alone has just been crazy. Like, the nature of what I do, as far as like my profession, you know, I work with people who are simply adults who are mentally ill, yo, and like they struggle in more ways than many of us can imagine. And when you complement that, or you add addiction to the mental illness, it is a horrific, disastrous combination. A disastrous combination. Stop all the presses. Stop the foolishness. Stop pretending like this does not exist. Stop pretending like just because it didn't reach your door that people are not suffering out here. I can't tell you personally, like, the amount of people in such a short period of time who have fallen victim to substance abuse, yo. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And that's why sometimes when I talk, I'm not down with the fairy tales of imagination and dreaming all the time. I don't live in a dream state, fantasizing about how well things can be and oh yeah, and just live in a state of just illusion and this weird warped mania. And you could fall victim to that easily. Like for me on this channel, I talk about cryptocurrency, right? And you could get caught up in this loop of talk about how bullish bullish equates to feeling good about making money with the hopes of making an incredible amount of money, and that brings this feeling of elation, and you live in that state as if you really don't have bills to pay anymore, as if you really don't have things to do and obligations to meet. You could catch yourself in a trick bag doing that. You get on the internet and you pretend like life is grand and you want to show off and do screenshots or post how great of a life you're living. Meanwhile, in reality, you're suffering. You're suffering. You're lying to the people. Pretending like pretending like you're not in pain, like you're not hurting. Because your life is absent of love, absent of joy. So you're going to get on the internet, get on a social media platform and just post some things about, oh, you're living your best life, which is not a bad thing. In essence, but this whole thing is designed a way to trigger you, to remain addicted, to look at how many times someone is pretending like they're living a best life, to make you feel bad because you're not living as well as they are. There's always some people out here that got it worse off than you. Always somebody out here that got it worse off than you, and you could be struggling like nobody's business. And that not everyone can deal with stress the same. It's crazy. People don't care, yo. Like people do care. Let me just say this, but like on the surface level, it's about let me get to what I gotta go. Let me get mine as best as I can and forget about everything else. I just got word today. I just got word today that somebody, a former client of mine, man was in his, I want to say early 60s. Early 60s. And I say was because it's a was type of situation. I heard he passed away. He got caught in his room, passed away, cold, with paraphernalia around him, paraphernalia and stems in his, he had a stem in his hand, a glass pipe in his hand, and he done. And this is a person who struggled. Like his life consisted of the last 40 years of his existence consisted of being completely institutionalized. We're not talking about when you hear institutionalized in many aspects, what's the first thing you think about? Oh, lockdown, jail. Oh yeah, it was lockdown, but it wasn't jail. It wasn't prison that he was spent 40 years of his life in, in and out, in and out, in and out. It's hospitals, psych wards. And even when he was released to live in the community among people, right, in a home-like setting, a residential type setting, because his sickness had such a strong hold on him, his illness had such a strong hold on him. You know, he had to take medications for the rest of his life. His mental illness had such a strong hold on him that sometimes where he would feel like he had some level of normalcy, he would stop taking the meds. And as soon as he would, like a day or two, 3 days, sometimes it's real is that quick. You see a difference, and it's you got to go back to the hospital because he's not doing well. It's like you become dependent on the situation. And that was his reality for the last, let's say, 5 years since he's been out of long-term lockdown of a psych ward. Came out, and it's just been in and out, little stints here and there, 3-week hospitalization, come back to the house. You then you spend outside, you in the town, you in the residence, you know, for a month, you stop taking your meds, you back in the hospital because you fall apart, because the dude falls apart, can't keep it together, has no family. No family. Passed away, had no family. And it's regular. Like, this is something that happens on a regular, consistent basis with so many people. So where do you think ultimately he will end up as far as his body? Left no children behind. All his belongings are going to be thrown away. Where's his body going to land? In Potter's Field. Why? How did he end up in that situation? He decided, made a choice to cop some work off the street. That was had this chemical mixed in with whatever he was ingesting. Smoked it, and that was the last time he smoked anything in his life. Gone with the wind. And people simply, like, it's if it wasn't you, if it's not close to you, folks are so desensitized. People are just treating this like it's not, it's something that's so disconnected from them. No, it's going to hit home because this is how life is, because these things don't discriminate. When you're talking about addiction, when you talk about substance abuse, when you talk about mental illness, that does not discriminate. Those things don't discriminate. Some people live in those types of afflictions for decades, for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years mentally ill, 80 years mentally ill. Some started out okay, and something happened and it changed their life forever. They can't go back to being what they were, by way of functioning, by way of being lucid, by way of just not being cognitively impaired, by way of just having a regular conversation. And then you couple that with using illicit substances, and people fall apart because their lives have been reduced to something so base level that they want to escape from their reality. They want to just escape. They want to slow down those voices they hear all the time. They want to slow down those images that they constantly see, these visuals that are not there, that to them, they swear that they're there. They want to just escape from that. And it's just messed up. It's messed up. Just this year alone, like how many people, like it's hard to really make sense out of all this. It's really, really hard to make sense out of these things. This is why I said a lot, oftentimes in my streams, like, it doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter how many assets you own, doesn't matter how many resources that are available to, or that you may have to, fake power. When you're captivated by the grips of addiction, you can kiss those things goodbye, including your cheeks, if you're not careful. That's why one of the things of why, like, even in streaming online and talk about crypto, I'm not excited about, like, talking about crypto in such a way that I once did years back, because even back then there would be times where I always add, like, there's some kind of realism that's always present that you can never forget. What are you chasing? You're chasing money, right? Because this is what they say, make the world go round. But to what end are you chasing this money? If your health is garbage, if your health is poor, does it matter how wealthy you are if you can't buy your way to better health? There's a thing that I learned a long time ago, and it's just so true. You don't know what you have until it's gone. What you do today affects how you live tomorrow. Someone told me a long I mean, I just picked up lessons. Like, I don't dismiss knowledge that comes my way, and it comes from young people, young and old, and everything in between. And I try to take it all in, take it all in, take it all in, because that's what gives us power. Acquiring information and applying this knowledge to improve the quality of our lives. How are you going to say you love somebody in your life if an aspect of what you do, whether they know or not, you engage in activity that's harming yourself? How is it that you're going to fix your grill and say, yo, no, I love you? Meanwhile, behind the scenes, you get skied up every day. You drinking every day. You destroying yourself every day. You don't love yourself. So how you going to love anybody else? You lying. You're smoking. You're drinking. You're engaging in activity that puts your freedom at risk. You're putting your lives at risk. And then if you have folks that are around you that you're supposed to take care of, who depend on you, help me understand, where's the care? Where do you really care about their well-being if all you do is tearing yourself down? Each and every moment you decide to do something, engage in something that's going to be harmful to your well-being. Make it make sense. In some cases, to me, it has to be that black and white. It has to be that black and white for me. If you're a man, for example, and you have a family, of your own where you're paired up, right, with a woman, you have children, you have a family, and you say that you love them. You love your wife, you love your girlfriend, you love your kid's mother, you love your children. You say that you love them, but behind the scenes, you consistently are doing something to tear your body down, to tear your mind down, to tear your spirit down. You're a hypocrite because you're not going to wait to see grandchildren. You're not doing anything to even help to even reach a point where you could be blessed enough to see your great grandchildren. There's too many factors involved with a lot of these things that goes on that throws us off. Too many factors. Like even conversations like this don't interest people. If it's not about who's sucking who, if it's not about anything related to some kind of drama, nobody want to hear it. They love the drama, they love scandal, they love something to keep you. And don't get me wrong, it entertains me as well. But I could only take some of that in doses because it can't be every day, all day, every day, drama, this and that, scandal, this and that, scandal. All that stuff is gonna affect me and my well-being. And that's all I'm gonna live and think about. Is the problems of the world, problems or whatever on some internet or whatever. And even in life outside the internet, like in your regular personal life, you want to hear this gossip, you want to hear this scandal, you want to hear this drama, you want to hear this, that, this. At some point, at some point, your life is going to represent all that you're hearing, all the chaos, all the confusion from everybody else. Meanwhile, you got your own problems that you have to sort through and deal with every day. This thing keeps spreading, this whole thing with fentanyl and all this, it just keeps spreading. It's like nobody really cares though, man. Rest in peace to that man, yo. Like, wow. This guy, man, like I had to take him places, to his appointments. I had to do things, for him and with him in the community, take him shopping, food shopping, clothes shopping, appointments, see his doctors, see social workers, see this and that and this and that. And just in our travels, just because of who he was, it was never a dull moment, never a dull moment with that guy, yo. You see him, you want to walk the other way. But he wasn't really menacing. It's just because visually he looked very intimidating. He was bigger than me. Dude was like 6'6", right? Strong physique, stature. But the man was struggling with mental illness. He was like literally out of his mind, outside of his mind, out of his own body, like doing things reckless. Like the world was his playground in a weird way. I had to like really protect him from being, police would walk up to him. I had to show him, hey, listen, because they would look at him doing something weird, like just he want to just go, I'm in the car, we going somewhere, and he's like, oh, I gotta use the bathroom, gotta use the bathroom. He jump out the whip, and it's just in a crowded area, busy downtown New York City, and he taking a whiz like it's nothing, and it's just crazy in the streets. It's like, oh man, like, hey, you can't do this here. And, police would come. I got to like diffuse and help him understand. Listen, he's from this place. This is what's going on. This and that. Got my idea. Got to explain, negotiate. He was vulnerable like that. He was vulnerable like that. He knew better, but in my mind, I wanted to believe he knew better, but he acted like, not that he acted, but he just was everywhere at the same time. His mind was everywhere at the same time. And then you couple that with drugs. It's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for disaster. A lot of y'all in respect what you have, because at any point, take notice and take heed and be grateful, right? Take account of all that you have, because there's many people in life that would love to trade places with you because they have much less than you, much less than you. I don't care if you think that's impossible. I don't care if you think you living your worst life right now. There's somebody out there that got it worse than you. This is why you gotta be grateful. Grateful. And another thing, things could just change. No, you could be on the top of your mountain, the top. You like, right? You're so successful, very successful, everything. And then everything can just change. Everything can change. I hear folks talk all these different things and issues they have and complaints. People complain all the time. Every day, all day, complain. And these are people who live in, let's say, in the Western society, right? Complaining and complaining and complaining. And then when I come into contact with folks who just supposed to be, you just come from a quote unquote third world reality, and they're happy with so much less. They're much happier than we are with so much less. Even though in general, there's hardship, but they're so much happier with less clothes, right? Less quality living situation, less food. They're happier than those of us that are blessed to be able to work, to be able to provide, to be able to have your own business, to be able to just succeed and fight through a struggle. They see us as being blessed and fortunate. That's why, like, if when I go back and I visit, oh, they thinking I'm rich. They thinking I'm some kind of entertainer. They put their hands out because no, you come from the land of milk and honey. How you complaining? But we happy over here though, even though we don't have a fraction of the greatness you got. Look at how we sleep. When it rains, it falls on those tin roofs. We just one step above a tent. So no, they're gonna have their hands out. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if people can really really focus on perspective and balance. Really focus on perspective and balance. Don't catch yourself in a loop because it could be destructive. A loop of despair, deprivation, right? Of this loop of misery. You get caught up in that. And then what is your life going to reflect? Those same things that you're thinking, that you're constantly thinking. Alan, I see you, man. Good to see you. Alan Fizame in the building. How are you? It seems like I remember years ago in the 80s, they used to always talk about the war on drugs. They meaning the politicians, government officials, right? These people on TV would constantly talk about, oh, there's this war on drugs, war on drugs. That war has been a miserable fail as far as if anybody was thinking that we were going to fight and win, or the people that were against it were really going to win that war. That war was just an economic or financial machine to enrich governments, enrich a certain group of people to continuously thrive off of flooding communities worldwide and manipulating resources to continuously pump every single type of drug known to man to the communities to hurt the people, man, to keep them subjugated, to keep them weak, to keep them addicted, to destroy them, to destroy them. You know how many people I've met in my life, and I know many people can attest to this, who were brilliant, brilliant, incredibly intelligent people who fell victim to addiction, and the addictions destroyed them. Genius level individuals, genius, who struggled with addiction. You know, likewise, man. Hope you're staying safe too. Hope you're staying safe, man. Be vigilant out here, man. To you and yours, Alan. To you and yours. Hopefully, you, your loved ones, are doing very, very well. Because it's like there's an affront, you like that constantly that we battle, like we battle to fight through. Let's say you got to get up and go work. Either you work in your job, you work in a gig, you working in your own business. You got to fight through headaches. You got to fight through stomach pain. You got to fight through whatever weirdness that you feel in your back. Huh? It's a struggle. You got to fight through this limping situation because you got a pain in your foot. No, because you know you have to just ignore those things so that you could get to a greater goal. Some people can't do it for whatever reason, and they got to go pick up something to soothe the pain so that they can escape from the confines of whatever levels of extreme pain that they're living through. And it's sad, bro. Like People say, the war on drugs and pharmaceutical company and this big business, big business, big business. Insurance company have to make money. Pharmaceutical company have to make money, right? Hospitals have to make money, right? Jails have to make all kinds of prisons got to make money. It's a money making situation. What war on drug you talking about? He lied to the people. It's commonplace now. Commonplace. Whole communities, entire situations. You see the pain in the face of a 16-year-old that looks like they've lived 30 years already. You serving pregnant mothers. 20 years ago, I remember people were making fun of crack babies. See how heartless people, that was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Folks are making humiliating people who were products of addicted mothers. People are wilding. It's out of control. It's beyond the scope of rationality and normalcy. It's disgusting, devastating. Mix, good to see you. He says you always find these last 2 weeks in August are the most stressful of the entire year. Be vigilant inside out. 100% be vigilant inside out. And you saying that you always find these last 2 weeks in August are the most stressful of the entire year. May you find resolve, man, right? To get through this most stressful time. May you find relief, right? So that you can get through this. It's weird. It's weird, yo. Like this summer for me has been trash in a way, like on a social level, has been very, very bad. Like not good at all. Upside down. With people falling victim and dying off of fentanyl. I'm serious, man. People who I've known directly. Some garbage hit the streets and spread throughout the country months back. I reported on it after I directly had to experience loss like that, yo. And it's not just one, it's a combination, even up until today. Like, come on. Come on, man. I heard some shit hit the streets that touched Seattle, went to Chicago, Detroit, out east, the whole Philly, New York, Jersey, Connecticut, Maryland, just in a week's time. In a week's time. And people falling apart like a bad batch came out like 2 months ago, right? And you know what's disgusting? Was so crazy. And I'm so desensitized in a way because I grew up around this shit. I'm so, in a way, so desensitized. You know, growing up, people used to always say, I've seen bodies, I've seen people who died with needles in their arms when I was a child, with the bum ass tourniquet, a belt, or whatever they could find to tie around their arm with a needle in their arm, dead, right? I understood as a child, like 11 years old, oh, that person overdosed. They took too much of something, right? It was just too much. Like my former client that I just you found out about today, he overdosed, right? It's just been a lot of overdosing. But then some of these things, it's like, yo, is it really overdose? Because the shit was just too rampant. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Over everybody ODing? How? Other users would hear about their peers, whether they know their peers or not. They would hear about their peers falling out and dying, and they would be like, yo, we got to get that shit. They would go after that. They hear that this shit is knocking people out, literally knocking them out and killing them. And that's what they want to go run after. Because it's strong, it's lethal, it's potent. They'll get more, they'll catch a greater high. To what end? They're not even afraid of dying, yo. Like this is the level, and it's been this way for a very long time. For as long as I've been alive, I'm Generation X. It's been this way for as long as I've been alive, longer than me. Since this shit hit the cities, the urban metropolis, and urban ghettos and cities of this shit just been flooded throughout all the communities. It's just been that. You get some shit that's killing motherfuckers, they want it. There's no uprising, there's no revolt, there's no pushback. Motherfuckers ain't marching for that, fighting against that. There's no boycotting, nothing. It's all shit. Yo, don't say nothing. Let's go get it. Don't make any noise. Let's just go to that shit. Get the poison that's gonna take them out of here. And these people, the professionals, bless their hearts. Bless their hearts. The people that carry the bodies away, bless their hearts. That's a job I couldn't do. I've seen bodies, right? And it's like, yo, like to just, man, yo. I'm not talking about like a funeral, funeral caskets. No, I've seen bodies too, right? Outside, motherfucker just dead. I just couldn't do that. It just disturbs me. But then you're gonna tell me every one of those situations is because this is why I say bless these people's hearts. The coroners, medical examiners, right? Hospitals and all that. It's just a couple attributes, a couple things, right? The distinctions of what happened. Or it could have been an accidental death, or it could have been an overdose. These things, these words, these terms to kind of like CYA, cover your ass type thing, right? Very little fucking honor is given to these people who died, yo. Very little, next to zero honor. Like, it could have been your family. Could have been you. It could have been you. Alan says, lawsuits left and right professional tennis trying to trap me to sue because they are too late. Yo, oh man. Damn. Wow, man. Just make sure your affairs, bruh. Just make sure your affairs are in order. I'm not giving you advice. You know, it's from a place of love, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, just make sure your affairs are in order. Everybody don't care, right? They just, it's lawsuits left and right. Professional tennis trying to trap you to sue because they are too lazy to work. You see that dumb shit? That's that parasite, leech, professional, right? Bruh, I visited a locale in my hometown. New York City consists of five, what they call five boroughs. Lee, I see you, man. What's up, Lee? New York City consists of five boroughs, right? I've been through all the boroughs, whatever. All the freaking ghettos are the same, bro. They say in Brooklyn, the worst ghetto in Brooklyn is Brownsville, bro. You have a Brownsville everywhere. Brownsville is fucked up, but you have a Brownsville everywhere. These people be trying to glorify how violent your locale is. There's certain parts of the world that make Brownsville look tame, believe it or not. And I'm not trying to, it's not about bragging and boasting and anything like that. But when he said about the professional this whole thing about this cycle of deprivation, degradation, this generational cycle of poverty, this mindset, yo, Section 8, welfare from generation 30, 40, 50 generations, 50 years deep is crazy. Because you couple that with violence, you couple that with drugs. It's nasty, bro. Nasty. You find that shit in Harlem. You find that shit downtown in Hell's Kitchen. You find that shit uptown in Manhattan, Inwood, Washington Heights. You find that shit in LES, Lower East Side. You cross the bridge. You go Queensbridge, huh? All throughout Queens. I don't care about the rich, posh areas because them motherfuckers are custies too. All over the place. All over the place. Jamaica, Queens, Far Rockaway, all these places. Yo, come on, man. The whole South Bronx. They trying to gentrify that shit. You know, building up these buildings that they construct in like 2 weeks. Boom, out of nowhere, you see a building. You're like, yo, where you gonna put these people at? Yo, what you doing here? Well, what's going on? It's still deprivation left and right. Pockets of poverty all over the effing place. Staten Island too. Staten Island, yeah. You got a segment of Staten Island is rich, whatever, but then you got a certain Park Hill, no joke. Stapleton, no joke. There's certain parts of Staten Island you don't want to be in. And it's still cycles of violence and poverty. Brooklyn, how many hoods in Brooklyn? Come on, son. Crown Heights, Flatbush, huh? Red Hook, Coney Island, Fort Greene, Bed-Stuy, Bushwick, all these communities out East New York, Cypress Hill. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Cross the bridge. Cross the bridge. Jersey. Bruh. There's towns in Jersey that you're like, yo, is this 2025? Is this 2025? Why y'all living like it's 1980? That's the vibe you feel in the air. Come on, bruh. Philly, certain parts of Philly, I'd just be like, why? And it's just, why are we living Connecticut? You got certain parts of Florida, yo, Virginia, yo. There's certain parts of these places, California, son. Oh my goodness, bro. Beautiful everywhere, but you got deprivation everywhere too. Everywhere too. The cycle, the damaging mental cycle and stranglehold of generational poverty is sick. It's sick because it's interwoven with crime and drugs, and it's fucked up, man. And people don't care. Imagine the person that my client died, right, from an overdose. They call quote unquote overdose. I just think he had bad work. I just think he caught a bad batch, people. Because he wasn't even that type to do that. You don't know what drives a person to do these things. I'm not judging him. When I was a kid, I didn't know any better. I used to judge. Why don't you get a job? Why don't you get a job? I never said that out loud because somebody would slap the taste out my mouth. And that would be my father. He ruled our house with the iron fist. Dude would slap the taste out my mouth. Don't talk to these people. Because if they come at you, I'm going to have to step in and protect you. So he just would check me first before I would check, So I don't judge these people. I don't judge them. But you going outside, you trying to, get a little work to do whatever you do. You handle your business, and then you find out you just ingested the taste of death, literally. Just recently, another person I know passed away, right? Shit is disgusting, bro. The person who served him was like talking, mumbling under his breath because people were like, yo, what happened? What's going on? And the guy walks away, he goes, snow bunnies. And not some white chicks, because that's a slang term that people use for white girls, snow bunnies. No, snow bunnies, like whatever name they gave to this type of work, the type of drugs that the dude was trying to, I think he was trying to sniff dope. And the stamp or whatever it was is called snow bunny, boom, boom, boom. It was dirty. It was dirty. It was hot, hot, hot. No bueno. Bad batch. Out of here. Just like that. Left children, right? Fucked your job off, fucked your family off, just like that, man. Then you got people who are out here like my client got nobody. Potter's Field. You're going to end up in Potter's Field. All his belongings going to get thrown away. When I used to work in the jails, the inmates, right? The ones that, whatever, that I guess the best behaved, they would grab them up and then they would go to Potter's Field to bury unclaimed bodies. Such a sad existence, man. It just keeps spreading and it keeps spreading. It keeps spreading. I was educated recently and told that, fentanyl is something that, is used in the hospitals, right? For pain. Okay. All right. But that shit already took a stranglehold on so many people outside of, these hospital settings. Like, it's just like, yo, this shit is destroying lives, yo. It's destroying lives. It's destroying people, man. Like I said, 16-year-olds looking like they're 30 years old, man. Looking like they're 40 years old, man. Depression, you feel it in the air. In some of these places you go, you can see it in the people. You don't want to judge. You want to like understand, like, yo, how can this change? I remember when I was young, man, a girl in my class, I was in the 7th grade. you had some of my classmates. I was too lazy to be in those advanced classes. I could have done it, but I was just too lazy. It's a thing I struggle with, right? But I had great grades. But some of them, like the quote unquote, they were known to be uh, uh, advanced student, gifted, right? So there was a certain girl and her peers, a group of kids that were all they qualified to go to scholarship. I'm in the seventh grade. They were like going to these paid private schools, right? Like a scholarship to go to private school. And I'm like, oh shit, oh for real? Oh, you doing that? Oh, okay, that's good. And for me, I was like, yo, I could did that. I could have done that, but I was just too lazy, dealing with my own demons at 12. So I was already focused on other shit, trying to break dance and do my graffiti, and at the same time pass the seventh grade, like so I don't get my ass waxed by my father. 2 years later, now I'm in high school. I go out and I'm going to a store one random day, some nondescript day. I'm walking, go to the store. Yo, shorty who got the scholarship to go to the private school, 4-year paid scholarship, like some special shit. So it was called some program, a certain type of whatever. They got a special scholarship. Yo, I'm thinking, all right, she's out of here. She's gonna do her thing, her and her peers. Yo, congrats. Yo, don't you know when I saw her, I must have been 14, 15. She was strung out, skinny, hair all fucked up, wearing shorts, marks on her legs, looking toe up from the flow up. That shit was deeper than that. And I don't think that was crack. I think that was something else. Even though crack had hit real hard, super hard, but I think this was something else. It could have been the crack. I think it was dope. 14 years old, threw her shit away. Because shortly after that, I heard, I forgot her name. I'm not gonna say her name. I heard, she passed away too, man. Like, years. Like this was like a long time ago, but she didn't make it past 16 years old. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't. People. I say this again to be real with y'all. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. If you say you love your family, you have people in your life who you care about, who you love, and if you are indulging in doing things that are harming you, then you got to think and really evaluate what's going on. In the beginning of this stream, I said, you can't be loving other people if you still getting high and drinking and fucking your own body up. And that's real. Because what you're doing is decreasing your lifespan. You don't want to see them for as long as you can. You're doing things that's really cutting your lifespan. That's destroying you. How can you say you love others when you're doing things that show you that you hate yourself? You're doing things to yourself that's destroying yourself. So where's the love? What love? Please. I'm no doctor. I'm just a regular person out here talking because I care about these situations, because of what I do for my profession, and I stream and I talk all the time. I would be remiss if I didn't say something about this, because everything is not about chasing a dollar bill. Everything we talk about crypto a lot on this channel, and it's cool. But I'm also going to be talking about other things, and that's cool too. But I'm saying that to say because for 4 years I was obsessed talking about this crypto, 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 crypto. Hey, slow down. That's what, like life is telling me, hey, just chill, man. Crypto's gonna be what's gonna be. And I'm not gonna even like keep my foot on that founder's neck like I've been. And I will here and there and stuff like that, but it don't matter. In the grand scheme of things, he doesn't matter. What matters is what you decide to do. To be present for yourself and the people you care about. What you're doing today and how it's gonna affect you tomorrow and your future is what counts. You gotta take care of you. Always first. Because what good is it? What good is it for you to be present for other people if you're not going to be present for yourself? Because what's going to happen is life is going to show you, life is going to force you to sit down. And then you're going to have to deal with more difficulties and more challenges. And hopefully, when life shows you to sit down, it's not of a permanent nature. I don't know why, like, I can resonate with the sentiment of a couple, my viewers saying like this month has been like so hard, like it's crazy. Because I can also attest to the same shit in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't speak about my life like that, but I could relate. I could relate, bro. I can relate. And the more I think about it, they not wrong. Maybe it's something in the air. Maybe it's something in the stars. Maybe it's something cosmic that I simply just don't understand. But right now, yo, we gotta hunker down, buckle down, take care of ourselves, and weather through this, whatever weird period is going on right now, man. So we don't succumb to some foolishness. And with that, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. Take care of yourselves.